Thank you for staying with us here on THV 11 Plus for Arkansas News Now. I'm Ashley King with meteorologist Nathan Scott, and we're talking about this roller coaster of temperatures, it feels like. Yesterday, really cold. Today, not so bad.
December started off chilly, but now the weather pattern started to shift in the other direction. We've got clouds making their way in. This is all advance of warm air pushing its way in here from the south and southwest. We're dry out there today, but look at this 24-hour temperature difference. 20 degrees warmer in Conway, 19 degrees warmer in Pine Bluff, 18 degrees warmer in Batesville. When we take a look at the visible satellite, there's the clouds. High to mid-level clouds continue to pour their way in here from the southwest, but we've already gone above the expected high, 53. We're at 54 at Little Rock. It's 55 at Conway and 55 in Camden. So here's your hour-by-hour forecast. I think we'll see a high around 56, 57 this afternoon before those clouds really start to take over, and expect cloudy skies getting into tonight. Therefore, it will not be as cold, but highs today, mid-50s, maybe some upper 50s, especially into North Arkansas. Lows tonight dropping down into the 40s, maybe a few upper 30s in those coldest spots. And tomorrow, we're still into the mid to upper 50s, but there will be the chance of a few showers. More on that coming up.
And police in Rhode Island are asking the public for any help in identifying the person who shot 9 people and killed 2 others at Brown University on Saturday. CBS's Jared Hill is at the campus in Providence with the latest images we have of a person of interest.
FBI agents are moving one step at a time around Brown University, looking for any evidence to help them identify this person, wanted in connection with Saturday's deadly shooting.
And the sooner we can identify that person, the sooner we can, I think, blow this case open.
New videos and photos show a person of interest wearing a hat, dark colors, and a mask covering most of his face.
The FBI is now offering a reward of $50,000 for information that can lead to the identification, the arrest, and the conviction of the individual responsible, who we believe to be armed and dangerous.
Authorities say they believe there's no threat to the community because of an increased police presence.
Someone knows this person. They either know this person intimately, or the person is a neighbor or someone they see every day at the coffee shop or the McDonald's or wherever. And it's likely that someone will reach out to the police at some point.
Just to know that they're still out there and we don't know where they are, that's a problem.
Nadia Patel is a student at Brown. She was friends with one of the victims, freshman Muhammad Aziz Morozakov.
He was always someone that you could talk to about anything. And I remember one time we had stayed up till almost 4 a.m., 5 a.m. in the morning. And he was just always someone that was offering support. He'll be someone that is missed.
19-year-old sophomore Ella Cook was also killed. A memorial on campus is growing for the victims. Jared Hill, CBS News, Providence, Rhode Island.
Meanwhile, the search for answers continues in California after actor and filmmaker Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle were both found murdered inside their Brentwood home Sunday afternoon. The couple's daughter reportedly found them with multiple stab wounds. Hours later, her brother Nick was taken into custody. He's being held without bond, and the DA's office has until Wednesday to formally file charges. Back here at home, a Pulaski County jury sentenced this man, 26-year-old Devontae Clay, to 120 years in prison. And it may be just the beginning. The conviction came for the murders of 2 teens from North Little Rock killed in Scott back in 2023. But Clay is also awaiting trial for a crime spree late in 2024, where he allegedly held up 2 Waffle House restaurants. The trial is set for next month in that case. And 2 deadlines are approaching for people who get insurance through the healthcare.gov website. But if Congress doesn't extend subsidies by January 1st, you may be stuck with sharply higher premiums. Advocates have spent weeks pointing to plans set to see premiums jump by huge amounts. A mother of 3 saw her monthly premium jump from $62 to $404. That's the kind of sticker shock that can make some people go without coverage. And that worries advocates who say it ends up costing us all more money.
When you have fewer people insured, entire communities suffer. You have people who take on more medical debt. You also have providers who take on more uncompensated care. People may go to the emergency room more whenever they could just go to their primary care provider.
Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton is among those Republicans blaming the structure of the Affordable Care Act. He sent us a statement saying, in part, quote, health care premiums are rising because Obamacare is not affordable. And today marks the third day of Hanukkah. And for many in the Jewish community, the holiday is marked with sadness after an anti-Semitic shooting in Australia this weekend. But last night here in Little Rock, THV 11's Catherine Rowley talked with those that are helping to spread joy and light.
Those participants came as far as Dallas in the midst of a tragedy. So on the second night of Hanukkah, they look to spread their light with others.
We are families and we are community members and doctors and dentists and builders and other things.
Families and community members gathered together, bracing the cold, to put a symbol on their cars and spread the message of Hanukkah. The message of the holiday is to spread the message of kindness and warmth to those in the Jewish community and outside. So vintage cars ran right next to new cars for the symbol of light.
So there are people in this parade that are not of the Jewish faith, but they want to put a menorah on their car. They want that symbolism of light pushing away darkness, light, confusion being put away by clarity.
A man named Jonathan drove up from Dallas to participate in the parade. He says that in this time of tragedy, it's important to be visible and continue to share the spirit of the holiday.
We know a lot of tragic things have happened over the last few years, and I think that, just showing people that we're out here and that we're proud and that we're not going to be afraid is important at moments like this, and bringing our families out into public.
Over the weekend, at least 15 people were shot and killed at a Hanukkah event in Sydney, Australia, adding to the list of tragedies in the Jewish community worldwide. But Rabbi Cement says that in the wake of tragedy, there's been an awakening among the community.
To want to embrace. So there are those people that may have a few years ago not even celebrated Hanukkah. This year they're making a point to celebrate, because what somebody wanted to snuff out and eradicate the person's life, they're going to add a light.
And with 6 nights left of Hanukkah, the community is continuing to spread their light for the holiday season.
I want to have a happy holiday season to everybody. Celebrate and be kind and be generous to each and every one else, because this is a very good world that we live in today.
Have a wonderful holiday season. Merry Christmas to you, and happy Hanukkah to the world.
There's an uptick of police on hand, and they will be there for the rest of the ceremonies and events through the rest of Hanukkah.
No driver, no steering wheel, just curiosity and nerves. Seniors get a first look at self-driving cars coming up.
Over the next several mornings, you may be able to leave behind those heavy winter coats. I think the exception could be Friday, but you notice most temperatures will stay above freezing. This continues to be the situation getting closer and closer to Christmas. I'll have more on that outlook coming up.
Welcome back. So no driver, no gas, just lots of questions. Self-driving car company Waymo is launching driverless rides in big cities across the country. And this week in California, a group of senior citizens got to see the technology up close and personal for the first time. And their reactions were pretty priceless.
Have you ever seen anything like this?
No, never in my life.
I mean, I'm into self-driving cars. I think they're safer than me maybe on the road.
Yes.
That pretty much sums up the mood at the Kathy Hopper Friendship Center today.
Oh, great, wonderful. That's what I need.
Curiosity, excitement.
It's a crazy thing to do, but I guess it has its advantage.
And lots of questions for Waymo representative Nuna Ataja.
It will autonomously drive you there just like any other kind of navigation system.
Nuna says the demo is to help seniors get familiar with the technology before it officially comes to San Diego early next year.
The most questions that we were asked were just around kind of the basics of how do you, enter a vehicle, how do you get to where you need to go, and so I was happy to kind of walk through some of those steps.
One big question seniors had, what are the screens inside for? One thing is, it calls customer support.
It will also show and navigate where you're going, indicate what might be happening, if it stops for a pedestrian. You can control things like music, temperature control, lighting.
She also explained there's no one in the driver's seat. You can call the car with an app, and instead of swinging, the doors slide open.
Then many of them got inside of the waymill and got to decide for themselves whether or not they think they'd ride one.
I think so. I would like to experience it.
I don't know. It's scary. Just the thought that nobody's driving it.
You feel comfortable getting in it?
Yes. Oh, sure. Yes. Not me. I'm going to wait a little longer.
I would be happy to go in one.
For many seniors, the excitement goes beyond the novelty. It's about having another way to get around.
We need that one because I don't drive. I don't need it.
It's one of the biggest things is people getting to their appointments. You know, seniors getting to their appointments, seniors getting to socialize, seniors getting to community centers. And this is going to be a good opportunity for them.
They might not all be ready to hand over the wheel, but many seniors say they're more prepared for the ride ahead.
It was a nice experience.
What do you think? Have you been in a self-driving car yet?
I have not. No, I'm not going to trust my life with a computer just yet.
I'm afraid I would get inside, the doors would lock, and I'd never be able to get out.
Yeah, and also think about like the reaction time of, okay, what if a pedestrian runs across the street, or what's going to happen?
I mean, hopefully they've thought about that, right?
You would think, but who knows? I mean, you hear stories of Waymos running into like the robot cars that are delivering food or something like that.
Right.
So,
yeah, I don't know. I agree. I mean, I think it's weird having no one there, but it seems like the seniors were ready to go.
It's not the flying car. That's coming up next.
Yeah.
They probably thought, at this time there would be flying cars.
Like the Jetsons.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Did you notice that she interviewed primarily women?
Oh, yeah?
I didn't see any guys.
I didn't think about that. Maybe the women are a little more likely to try it. The guys are like, no way.
Well, let's talk about weather because here are the current temperatures. If you're a fan of warm weather, we're going in the right direction. If you're a fan of typical December cold conditions, we're going in the opposite direction. So we got a temperature of 54 right now at Little Rock, 56 in Dallas, 51 in Montgomery, Alabama, and the Arctic air continues to exit off to the north and northeast, where temperatures are still below freezing through the Great Lakes and also into the mid-Atlantic. Here's your 3-day forecast. Today, I bumped up the high to 57 now instead of 53 because we've already gotten up to 54. Mostly cloudy or dry. Small chance of a shower on Wednesday. A better chance of more coverage as showers and some thunderstorms arrive here on Thursday as a cold front starts to sweep its way in here from the west. There's high pressure. It's sliding off to the east, allowing the winds to switch over to the south and southwest. That is a warming wind here in the natural state. And there's clouds moving in here from Oklahoma, Texas. This is all associated with a weak upper level disturbance, but strong enough we could see a few showers out there tonight and also into our Wednesday. But our next round of showers and thunderstorms arrives here on Thursday, and we need the rain. This is not going to produce a lot of rain. Maybe some locations get a quarter inch, but here's future radar. There's the clouds on the increase. Small chance of a few passing showers tonight. Also into Wednesday, especially in southeast Arkansas and South Arkansas, and then going into later Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday night, the coverage of drizzle and maybe a few showers will start to really take shape across a large part of the state, but not everybody's going to see the rain. Here's Thursday. Notice that line as showers and a few thunderstorms are swinging their way through north central Arkansas, the Ozarks. Ahead of the front, temperatures climb up into the mid 60s, maybe even some upper 60s in some locations. Once that front clears, by later Thursday evening, we'll start to see some slightly cooler numbers to close out the work week on Friday. As for the potential of severe weather, it's a low chance. Primarily into Tennessee, it's only a level 1 out of 5, but if you're headed in that direction, you could run into a storm that tries to produce some gusty winds. Your Christmas outlook, we're only 9 days away now. How about 66 Christmas Eve? Maybe 70s will be a possibility on Christmas Day, looking at the latest information. And right now we'll go with a 10% chance of rain, but we may have to bump that up for Christmas Eve or the day before Christmas Eve because it looks like the newest weather information does show that potential is there. Your Saturday forecast. Numbers not feeling like December other than Friday, upper 40s, low 50s. First day of winter, by the way, is Sunday, the winter solstice, a temperature of 60 degrees. And those 60-degree days stick around all the way for a large part next week, I think.
All right, Nathan, thank you. And do you have any good books on your holiday list this year? A recent survey shows fewer people are reading for fun. Researchers say it's concerning since reading can have a significant impact on our health and well-being. Jared Hill takes a closer look.
Keandra Freeman says there's nothing like getting lost in a good book.
I think reading is very intimate.
Avid readers, once a dime a dozen, now apparently a dying breed among American adults.
If you're engrossed in the adulting life, then you don't really have time for yourself, and reading is a pleasure for self.
Over the past 20 years, reading for pleasure is down 40% among Americans 15 and older, according to a University of Florida survey. Study author Dr. Jill Sankey says the drop is concerning.
Other studies have shown associations between reading for pleasure and impacts on health, like improved well-being, relaxation, stress reduction, mental health, and even empathy.
While the study didn't look at why fewer people are reading, researchers suggest it's likely due to a number of factors, including less leisure time, the rise in digital media, and less access to bookstores and libraries.
I would have to schedule time to read versus it's a lot easier to just pick up your phone and look on social media.
While the decline in reading for fun may not come as a surprise, Dr. Sankey says the small number of parents who report reading to their kids is quite shocking. Just 2%.
It's important to reading readiness and early education readiness. Reading with kids is also a really important form of bonding, which is really important to health.
She stresses reading is one of the simplest devices in our public health toolkit and encourages more people to find a good page turner to get back into books. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
Well, the Hoop Hogs got some revenge over the weekend, and they're moving on up in the polls. Here from John Calipari, next in sports.
The THV 11 Sports Desk, sponsored by your Central Arkansas Hyundai dealer.
Well, last weekend brought us another big win for Arkansas basketball, this time with a small side of revenge. The Hogs took down Texas Tech, a big one for this season as well, a big win over a ranked opponent on a neutral floor. AP poll rewarding them with a bump up to number 14, though. Pizza Hut asking the important questions. That's the real Pizza Hut account. That's a real tweet. They said, "What's Arkansas doing that low?" That's right, listen to Pizza Hut. Got the Hogs in the top 10. For his part, John Calipari says it's all about progression.
They're more connected. In each week that goes by, we seem to be more connected. And we can do things out of timeouts. We could do things late in the game that we've worked on. And again, I love when people talk about, well, you should be doing this and this. Here's what I would say. When you have a new team, which I have every year I've coached, new team, you have to go and do the big stuff first. And then you break down, here's how we're playing in these situations.
Cal and the Hogs back at Bud Walton tonight at 8, taking on Queens. Meanwhile, later this week, Arkansas State heads to Texas for the Xbox Bowl. The Red Wolves taking on Missouri State, and thinking of this less as the end of the season and really more a brand new ball game.
It's about being in bowl shape and all the things that go into winning bowl games, from taking care of the football, different special teams, being able to adapt and adjust. It's kind of like a first game of the season, a lot of game of unknowns. So you're going to have the ability to adapt and adjust throughout the course of a game.
That one goes down Thursday night, Frisco, Texas at the Star. If you're not making the trip, catch it live on ESPN2. And then on Saturday, it'll be Harding versus Ferris State for the Division II National Championship game, Saturday afternoon at 3 p.m. And we'll hear more from the Bisons throughout the rest of the week.
And before we go, a warning for online shoppers. Porch pirates are on the prowl, looking to steal packages from your doorstep. They've already taken around 104 million packages this year. Skylar Henry shows us what you can do to fight it.
I was so mad. I was just mad.
Atlanta resident Tanya Shepard says it happened to her in the middle of the day last month. A thief stealing her packages on a busy street. Security footage shows the porch pirate wave unsuspectingly to the camera, look to see if the coast is clear, then make off with boxes.
Are you hesitant to order?
I think you have to order in this day and time, but I do try to be more mindful about knowing when things are coming.
Shepard's packages were among the roughly 250,000 that are stolen nationwide every day. A study from home safety research company Safewise estimated the total value of the items lost in the past year alone at nearly $15 billion. As online holiday shopping ramps up, seeing thieves take off with goods is on the rise, prompting federal lawmakers to mull over legislation, including fines up to $250,000 and up to 10 years in prison.
Stealing any package will carry the same federal punishments across the board.
We stick with the 3 Ds: deter, detect, and deny.
Nick B. Thomas is the chief marketing officer for Atlanta-based Ackerman Security Systems.
On the porch, if you have some sort of light associated with your camera, they're not going to test it. You want the burglar to say, I ain't doing that.
Tanya Shepard says while what she lost can be replaced, she's being more vigilant about what she buys and when it arrives.
Think of people who couldn't afford to rebuy packages, you know what I mean? Or what if you had a kid and it was that one present and that's what got taken off your porch?
It looks to me like that they're not afraid of daylight.
No.
Yeah, lights on. I mean, they're doing it right in the middle of the daytime where they could be seen. And
Lazy people, get a job. You know, you have to have a guard dog, but they probably sue you for getting bitten by the guard dog, even though they were trespassing. Like,
I mean, yeah,
it's annoying.
It doesn't matter. They're just very brave. I mean, they're going to do it anyway.
We need to do something different to crack down on, because obviously with 104 million packages being stolen, we're not doing something right. 7-day forecasts. We're not doing something right here either. If you're a fan of winter conditions.
Right. Is it December?
Yeah, I know. You look at that and you're like, what's going on here? So 50s for tomorrow, 20% chance of showers, especially down to the south. 40% chance of showers, maybe some thunderstorms rolling through here on Thursday as a cold front pushes through. It'll knock the numbers down into the upper 40s, low 50s Friday. 60s still going to the weekend, and 60s expected Christmas Eve, Christmas Day.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us on Arkansas News Now.